David.
Tom.
We're here. I've had Parkinson's 21 years. You've had it
4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years. You just seen me fall over. How did that make you feel?
I've seen dyskinesia before. I'm not dyskinetic at the minute, but I have similar symptoms when I'm really dyskinetic. At the minute I'm quite slow. So I'm actually on the flip side of what you're experiencing right now, which is on the way down below the line towards slowness and difficulty with the words and so on. But that's what people don't see. This is two sides of the same disease.
So you're kind of in the non-movement stage. I'm in the hyper movement stage.
Yeah, there's a line between us. You're way up there, and I'm just going gradually back down towards taking the medication.
So do you think there's a misunderstanding of Parkinson's generally out there?
I think there's too many different perceptions of what Parkinson's is, what disease is and what disability is. I think from a visual perspective, shaking is the main symptom that people see. So if they've never met you before, they might wonder why you're moving like you are. Why I'm slowing my words or walking, stumbling towards the lavatory or somewhere similar. People don't understand.
Last week I was out in my car and I'd stopped by on the side of the road and someone stopped behind me and they rang the police because they thought I was drunk driving my car and the police came to my house and just as I was walking in my house they said, "Excuse me sir, have you been drinking?" I said, "No, I've got Parkinson's," and the policeman nearly hugged me because his father had Parkinson's. And
raising awareness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perception. So part every day, part the same space for 4 or 5 years. Disabled space, blue badge. Mornings I'm either dyskinetic or really slow, either or really. And then I was parked in my car waiting for medication to kick in. And he said, "Is that your badge?" I went, "Yeah." Sat in disabled space with the window down. Born in 1981. I went, "Yes." Why have you got the badge? So I said, "Well, I've got Parkinson's disease." And then he didn't know how to react then. But he said that people have been reporting me for weeks on end, months on end, saying there's somebody in Parkinson's disabled space and he thought he can't be red-handed. He was quite embarrassed by the fact that he realised I was actually...
That is so typical though, because...
It's two different sides, isn't it?
Well, it is. And actually, people don't realise that although you may look good now, in half an hour you could be like I look now. So what for you is the worst thing about Parkinson's? Is it that misunderstanding or?
Well, I suppose the physical side and the view of the future, isn't it?
Yeah.
The physical side being when you're really slow. The dyskinesia is becoming more of a social thing to feel embarrassed about people not understanding.
Yeah.
Obviously it's quite disturbing, obviously you fell off before because it's quite severe, right? Sometimes even a step. But when you're really slow, that's like having no return. So the slowness and the movement in Parkinson's is probably the worst thing about it. The thing is obviously the view of the future and your perspective and worrying about what might happen in the future.
Yeah.
So you've been diagnosed with Parkinson's 21 years. So what's been the low point and what's been the hardest?
The low point was falling over just now. No, the low point...
Well, you couldn't go any lower.
The lowest point was... the low point.
Well, after the diagnosis, so what was the lowest point after you were diagnosed? So I've been diagnosed 4 years now, so you're obviously 21 years.
I think the lowest point is a diagnosis, actually, because you've gone from one day not having Parkinson's, the next day having this thing called Parkinson's, and that is the lowest point. And I think Parkinson's is very much, in the early days, a psychological illness. It's an emotional illness. It doesn't affect you physically too badly. So although physically I'm much worse than you right now, we're probably in the same territory in terms of quality of life, because I still enjoy my life, you still enjoy your life, and yet because I'm physically far worse than you, I'm in a good space because I feel I'm doing something constructive in my life. And
some of the medication, the disease movement like that, that's people don't understand. Just because you might be moving the way you are or might be slowing the way you are doesn't mean you're any less of a person.
absolutely.
That's perception.
That's right, and also I get a kick out of showing people that, you know, despite this, I am still a person, and I can still be still when I'm playing golf.
The paradox of Parkinson's is that compared to the small things you do in life, like speaking or knife and fork, get harder and harder, but the bigger things, the things like riding a bike or swinging a golf club, if you can't play the piano, you can still do. But people don't understand that.
Some would say that eating is more important than playing golf, but
Golf's easier.
yeah. What do you like about what we do here?
Search for a cure, and obviously not just a cure, it's the way to stop, slow or reverse, isn't it? And that's something I didn't really know much about until recently when I've become more involved in talking about Parkinson's in the public eye. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important to go for what's needed now, not in the future.
What hopes do you have for the future? What would you like?
Just to continue on in the life I've got, and to be loved and supported by my family, and be able to still contribute as a person. But just to work and be involved and take part.
Do you think there will be a breakthrough in Parkinson's?
I would hope so. It's definitely promising in terms of the way medical conditions can be monitored in terms of wearable technology, sensory and algorithms and things like that. It's not just about the race of science anymore, it's about people becoming involved and talking about how they're feeling and the symptoms they're displaying.
And this is the last thing I was going to ask actually is most of the researchers are concentrating on the neurological aspects of Parkinson's. Do you think Parkinson's is just about what's in your head, or do you think have you experienced the Parkinson's affecting your whole body? And
Well, yeah, it's a neurological disease, isn't it? But the fact that it's in your brain, it affects a lot of other things in your life and physically as well. So the things I've experienced in the 4 years, although neurologically based, have been things to do with like eating, swallowing, and moving around, and daily functions you take for granted. I think that's what's important. I think too much stigma is attached to Parkinson's in terms of being a neurological condition, which it is, but in terms of depression and compulsive behaviours, which isn't always the case, and it's something I'm passionate about dispelling the stigma about. Mm-hmm. So although I'm only take Parkinson's medication, I'm not that person.
So, I think what you're doing with your 1 in 20 ties in with what we're trying to do exactly, because you're engaging young people with Parkinson's, and young people with Parkinson's tend to have the energy and the desire to find a cure for Parkinson's. So I think from our point of view, we have to be thinking. We have to have this hope. We have to have this belief in a cure, because if we don't have hope, then what else do we have? And actually, there are things going on out there which are really exciting. So we need people with Parkinson's to engage in the condition, because we have a more compelling argument than anyone else to get other people to put money into Parkinson's, to develop policies which will enable Parkinson's treatments to come through, and to encourage scientists and pharmaceutical companies to engage and to realise the dream.
So in terms of public perception and awareness, what would you advise young people to be doing? Just be diagnosed with Parkinson's, would you hide away?
Yeah, hide under the covers and disappear from the world completely. No. So young people with Parkinson's need to get out there. I'm not afraid of showing people all this terrible dyskinesia that I'm showing now. It's part of who I am. And
well, it's part of I'm off at the minute, so I'm the opposite.
Yeah. So, and people stare and laugh at me. It's like water off a duck's back to me. It doesn't matter. It's not about this movement is not who I am.
No, it's a manifestation of what the disease is, and it's not you.
So I always say that, because we've lost all our dopamine in our brains. We've evolved. We're at a later stage of evolution than everyone else. So we're in fact superhuman rather than.
Yeah, I see your point. Synthetic humanoids with
Synthetic humanoids.
dopamine infused
Absolutely.
brains.
That's what we are. We're bionic. But no, so I do think it's important to concentrate on what we can still do, and we've proven today. I'm sure saw the video of you playing the piano, and you've seen me stand up and be still.
Yeah.
In my driving, I can still keep it still like that.
Not as important as driving, but to keep doing normal things for as long as possible in your life.
Absolutely.
And that's the point about finding a cure and better treatments, is that I can't take dopamine agonists and I'll have a dope for another 30, 40 years. Maybe I can, maybe I shan't, maybe I won't have to.
You shouldn't have to.
Well, hopefully I won't have to, and that's the point of us meeting today, to talk about how one person could be talking about it, raising awareness of the disease, while somebody else could be trying to find a cure, either on the shelf or ways to stop, reverse or slow the disease.
Absolutely, and so we can spread the message, and that's the key thing.